Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we have two fuller slates. I believe we have 10 games in the NHL, 10 in the NBA, or something along those lines.
11
in the NBA. So I've already moved on 2 games, which, if you guys know the way we've been betting this year, those games should be obvious in the NHL. 2 teams coming off of shutout losses. So those are 2 already plays I've put in as official plays. And for those for those that are part of the contest, I will also be posting the link to the Google Docs that has all the official plays in there. So that'll be for members only, obviously, because it has all of our plays as well in it, or all of our college plays as well in it. So there's that. But quick recap of yesterday. It was good. It was a really strong day yesterday for me. College basketball was a little bit of a struggle, 1-2, lost with Drexel, money line. Old Dominion, they won outright as 8-point dogs, and then Colorado won by 9 as 14-point favorites. So 1-2 in college basketball, but that would be the only losses I had all night. One play only in the NHL. Devils, money line, they win 5-1. This Rangers team is broken right now. Yeah. So there's that. And then the NBA was a clean 4-0 sweep, which I feel square as hell because favorites went 4-0 yesterday, straight up and against the spread in the NBA. Celtics, first half, minus 5.5. They won by 15 the first half. Full game, minus 9.5. They won by 19 full game. I knew that was a good spot for the Celtics. I doubled up on them. I don't double up on spots very often, especially favorites like that. I don't like laying 5.5 in first halves and stuff like that. But I thought that was the right spot. Timberwolves minus 8. They win by 29. And Bulls minus 7.5. They win by 26. So 4 blowout winners there for me in the NBA. If only they were all that easy. And I kind of want to take a look back. I kind of need to go back and take a look at how my NBA has been doing as of late, because I feel like it was a struggle for a little bit, but it's gotten better as of late. And a nice 4-0 day yesterday in the NBA definitely really helps. NBA, I'm actually up on the year in the NBA now. I'm 68-60, up 1.18 units. All right. Too bad I'm struggling in the NHL where that really matters to me. I'm down 10.12 units in the NBA in the NHL this year. But it is what it is. In the black for the NHL now. So love to see it. Tim, recap of yesterday, and then I'll recap I'll give out the standings, which only 4 people are in the contest so far. So if you want to join, become a member, and you can participate in the monthly contest for a chance to win $50 cash.
Yeah. I'm going to start to be going back over the site each day because I'm not doing the Cappertek anymore. Okay, good. That got switched to a winner. We had 4 plays up on the site yesterday. NBA 1-0. The Pelicans Hawks game went way over the total, which was nice to see. All 4 favorites won and covered.
Yes, I was on 3 of them.
Which
also, one thing to keep in mind, and I mentioned this after we went over the 4th game in the NBA yesterday, all 4 games, the spread moved towards the favorite.
Yeah.
All 4 games.
I'm just not a big fan of laying that many points. So we had Old Dominion plus 7.5. They won. Drexel minus 2, they lost, but Colorado did not get there, minus 13.5. So it ended up being a 2-2 day on the site. We move on to today. We've got some college basketball, of course. we also got a bunch of NBA and everything going today. So ready to get rolling.
There you go. Head over to the chat, and then we will. Oh wait, no. Quick recap of the standings, because I am updated on the standings. There you go. Only 4 people in, so it's a little quicker for me to do it now. Become a member, and you can join the contest as well. Oh, look who's in first place! Oh, that's a fun start. Come at me. Let's go. I'm just messing around. It's 2 days in. I'm 16-10 at 5.02 units. Coyote pick 11-9 up 2.32 units. Sean Higgs 1-1 down 0.1 units. Victory Trades down 2.07 units. We're only 2 days in. There's plenty of time for you guys to still join. There's plenty of you guys for, like, if you're Victory Trades, there's plenty of time for you guys to come back and be able to make this a competition. So if you guys want to challenge me, if you guys want to compete against me for $50, go ahead, become a member.
There you go. We'll head up to the chat. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button. People show some appreciation. Subscribe and share. Timmy, you know the rest of the same. My dog, nice size NBA car. Let's find some value. Yes. The Broncos last night were never in doubt. The Broncos definitely got it done. Did you see how they covered, Nick?
No.
It was about 2 minutes ago. Browns were driving, and it was picked off by Jaquan McMillan. And ran back to the house. Pick 6 for the former ECU Pirate.
Okay, nice. Things you love to see. I was only looking at overs in that game if I would have bet it.
I just saw a bunch of clips on it on Twitter. So I was looking Browns or nothing. I'm happy I didn't bet it. But Bucks laid it. Bucks tonight lay it. I will be at the game downtown 313. I want to look at that one a little more. Road Warriors trifecta. Dude, at least you're getting a good line on it. I'm mad. I wanted to bet the Nuggets last night when it was a 2.5. I see 5s now. So the line's moving the wrong way for them. I don't know. I saw 2.5 last night. Rangers, Blackhawks, Stars over. Ouch. Celtics cover. Pels cover. Nets cover. Wolves money line. Browns cover. Yeah. Looks like a rough night for you. Taking it on the Nuggets tonight. They very well could, but the line's not moving in your direction for it. Rough night at the races for me. The last 3 NFL games I bet, I watched my best bet die in the final seconds. Raiders, Browns, and Bears all blew it. Yeah, that's rough, dude. I'm also not hot on the Nuggies. I'm just that line movement's weird on it. Then I don't know why they've jumped that much. I got to figure out where this NHL is trending. I know all I know is that the Leafs are the same old Leafs as they played down to their competition. Only difference is they had a goaltender to bail them out.
Yeah, I'm glad I stayed off that game, because I wanted to back the Blackhawks, but just I don't know, I just couldn't get to it.
Texas Stars team total over. Texas Star. Oh, that's all AHL or whatever. I had no NHL. I'm glad. Me too. Yeah, I'm happy. Thank you for keeping me off the Rangers, although you didn't put the doubles up on the site. How many times has plus 300 dogs and above won the season in NHL?
A decent amount, actually. There was a couple.
Yeah. What's your take on Daniel Jones to the Vikings? I haven't heard.
No takebacks. No takebacks. It's done. Nope. We're not taking back. Thank you.
No midweek college football action. Yep, no action. You know what? The MAC championship game should be on a Tuesday night.
Who is that this year? Because I haven't really looked at college football conference championships. I believe it was Ohio and Miami of Ohio. And that is at Ford Field in Detroit.
Yep.
Wow, Tulane's a 6-point favorite against Army.
Flames versus Columbus tonight for Johnny Hockey.
Yep.
It's going to be it should be an interesting game. I want to take the Pistons, but the line seems right where I was kind of looking at the Pistons too. The Penguins are plus 150 versus the Panthers. Should be like plus 400.
I don't want to back the Panthers right now, though.
No.
Like, I have no interest in the Penguins, but I don't really want to lay a number on the road with Florida right now, especially coming off the 2 wins against the Hurricanes.
Panthers minus 1.5, and the team total over 3.5 for sure.
Fair.
Is Brady Tkachuk a top 10 forward in hockey?
Brady, no. Matthew, yes.
There you go. So far, in December, only one dog has won in the NHL. Plus 300. Hawks beat Dallas, I believe.
Was that even December? I thought that was in November.
Brady Tkachuk isn't even top 30. No, he said forwards. He said forwards.
Yeah.
He did not say.
If we're looking at top 10 forwards, I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl are 2. Matthews, McKinnon, Rantanen, Kaprizov, at his best Pasternak, but Pasternak's not been as good this year. I mean, Matthew Tkachuk is in there. Barkov's in there. I would probably take 20 or so. Yeah.
That Flames Columbus game is tricky. Lean Flames, but Monahan anytime goal might be the better play. I can see that.
Monahan goal. That's a good. Yeah.
Recap chat. Nick already did. Leafs need Flames to keep losing because Freeman says they are in trouble in talks of getting Kadri. Interesting. Brady Tkachuk is a complete package. He is a player that I would not want to play against.
Aroldis Chapman is a Boston Red Sox officially signed 1 year, $10.75 million. Aroldis Chapman to the Red Sox. Sorry. When there's moves, I want to hit that button.
Okay. Morning, guys. Kaprizov, McDavid. Okay, there's a bunch of players.
Kucherov. Makar is not a forward. Hughes is not a forward, other than Jack. Because Quinn and I forgot the other one is not a forward. Reinhart, Barkov, Matthew Tkachuk, Matthews, Rantanen. Yes. Yep. I 100% agree.
All the unders in the NHL.
Yeah, I didn't bet it over yesterday.
Brady Tkachuk can beat up everyone.
Can beat up, yeah, but play better? No. We're talking about talent.
Nuggets minus 110. Dude, if you got that line, that's a great line to get at.
Yeah. That's not an official play type of line, though, because that's not a line everybody can get.
I want the Warriors. I won't blame you.
At 5, I have no
Getting
interest in
one of the
Nuggets.
top teams, top covering teams at plus money, I understand why you would want that. Bailey always having rough nights. I got Warriors money line last night. It was a 2, now it's a 5 because Draymond on the IR. Yeah, okay, I don't really care about Draymond.
Oh, okay. So it's an injury. It's a fade the injury report type of thing.
I mean, it's Draymond. Do we really put much stock into that? Blues plus 186 money line, staring into my soul. We take an Army. I kind of lean Army.
I don't
know. I don't know about that game yet.
I don't know if I want to fade Tulane off of that loss.
You are talking football, right?
Yeah. Because I was talking about the conference championship game.
I was answering to has a plus 300 one this year. I could still okay.
I could still name 30 forwards better than Brady Tkachuk.
Damn, dude talks too much here. Oh well. No, people don't talk too much here. We like having conversations with people. Bailey said he was up 70 units in November. Ended plus 88. There you go. All right, Nick. You want to get involved in the games?
Yeah. Let's get it started. Oh, that's on football. I don't want it on football. I want it on basketball. Let's get started. The NBA, Cleveland Cavaliers and the Washington Wizards. The Cavaliers minus 16-point favorites, total of 234.5 in this game. Well, if you guys know where I've been betting the last, 3-4 weeks when it comes to the Washington Wizards, this play probably will come as no surprise to anybody where I'm ultimately going to land on in this spot. But let's do our due diligence. Let's break down this game, and I'm waiting for my pages to load so I can give you the line history for this game here. But we have, of course, my computer's being slow. Outstanding. There we go. Now we're loaded up. Where this line opened up at a 15, it's now a 16. Line opened up at a 236. It's down to a 234.5. So we do have a move towards the under here, and we have a move towards the Cavaliers from 15 to 16. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game, this is also NFL. I don't know why this is still NFL. I clicked NBA. There we go. Now we're all set up. 84% of tickets and 84% of tickets and 87% of cash on the Cavaliers. Wow. Usually with these big lines, we generally see more people try to grab the points than nobody has any interest in the Wizards. 62% of tickets, 58% of cash is on the over here as well. The Cavaliers are 18-3 this year. They're 15-6 against the spread. They're 13-8 over under. They are 11-1 at home. The Wizards 2-16, 5-12-1 ATS, 99 over under, 1-8 on the road. So they've kind of struggled there everywhere. And you guys know where we've gone the last few games, and we're now back on a winning streak with this. 3 straight wins in a row, taking the opponent team total over against the Washington Wizards. And this is probably the one angle that's the reason why I'm profitable in the NBA right now, because of how successful it has been. So I'm just going to keep riding it. It's a blind bet at this point. Whenever I see Washington, I look for the opponent, and I look for their team total over. Cleveland Cavaliers team total over 125.5 minus 120 over on Fanatics for me on this one. Official play for me.
All right, you can start off with that. I'm going to start off with a pass because, I'm never I don't think there's enough points for me to grab with the Wizards.
No. What if they gave you 20 points?
If they gave me 20, I'd maybe look at it. I just don't feel the need to go and do that because you're 16-point favorites. We could easily come back tomorrow and go, wow, they actually won by 37. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. But am I ever laying 16 points on a team? No, I am not. I don't feel like there's any reason to. It's just not in my betting style. I'm staying off of this game. I don't really feel like I have to.
And that's fully understandable.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pass here.
Sure.
So far I look like okay. Cleveland first half pass on full game. Yeah. Wizards are scrappy last game. Cleveland first quarter, first half. I guess Ryan Reeves is the best forward in hockey because he could beat up everyone.
Yep. And Nick Deslauriers as well.
Let's go to this game, Nick.
Yeah. And when I was typing up this game this morning, I'm like, on what world is the Philadelphia 76ers laying 4.5 points on the road?
Right.
Let's get into it. This line opened up at a 5. It's now down to a 4.5. So we do have a half-point line movement towards the Hornets. So markets kind of agree with my sentiment there. Line opened up 209.5. It's now sitting at 211. So we do have a move towards the over here in this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow. In this game, 52% of tickets, 52% of cash is on the Sixers. The line's moving against them. 84% of tickets, 75% of cash on the over. The line is moving towards the over in this one as well. We have a Philadelphia 76ers team that, I mean, they're the most disappointing team in basketball now, right? Now that the Bucks are playing better.
Mm-hmm. Disappointing to their fans. I love this, but
yeah. But yeah, they're 4-14 straight up, 5-13 ATS, 9-9 over under, 2-7 on the road, and we're asking them to cover 4.5 points. Granted, the Hornets, they're 6-14 this year, 13-7 ATS. Though they've been a hell of a covering team. They're not winning games, but they're covering. 7-12-1 over under, 5-7 at home this year for the Hornets. This has been a series dominated by the 76ers, though. They've won 7 games in a row against these Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are coming in on a 5-game losing streak. However, they're 4-1 ATS at that time. So they're a team that is losing but covering. And I've backed them a few times during this. I believe I backed them against Miami. I backed them against Atlanta. I backed them against Milwaukee. On the flip side, we have the 76ers coming off of something they haven't done much this year, a win. 111-96 win over the Detroit Pistons in their last game on the road. Now they continue on their road trip. They will head to the Orlando Magic for 2 games after this, both in Orlando. Why are we not on the Charlotte Hornets in this game? I see no reason why the 76ers should be laying this type of number. The market's moving in the Hornets' direction. This is Hornets plus the points, right?
Yep. I'm already on it. And this is keep in mind. I think this line could have moved because Ball is out tonight.
Okay.
Even with that, the Sixers suck, and it's beautiful. I love to see nothing more for Embiid than him. Oh, Embiid's out this game too, with a knee injury.
I didn't even know he still played.
Yeah, I don't really put much into his availability because he's not that good anyways. I'm on the Hornets here. There should be zero reason for the 76ers to be favorites, and I'm going to keep enjoying watching the Sixers completely fall apart. Remember when there was a conversation, Nick, of who was a better player, Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid?
I think they've shot that down, right?
I shot that down in the Olympics when Jokic was getting triple doubles and Embiid couldn't get off the bench against Saudi Arabia or whoever the small country they had to play. But it's so clearly obvious. But I love watching the Sixers lose, and there should be no reason why they are this big of favorites on the road. Give me the Hornets here.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. Hornets plus 4.5 at -110 for me. Official play.
Brady Tkachuk is on USA Olympic team. That's pretty freaking good.
Okay. Hey, what is he, a fourth liner, right? Third liner, fourth liner? It's still, I mean, yeah, okay, he could be a top 12 forward in Americans, but that's not including Canadians. That's not including Russians. That's not including Swedish. That's not including Finnish. That's not including Czech. That's not yeah, he's a top 12 forward in America. Why not? But I mean, hell, I'd even take players like Barzal over him, and like those mid-tier guys. Marner, I'd take over Tkachuk.
Dude, Brock Nelson was on the Olympic team. Can we?
I would take Brock Nelson over Brady Tkachuk.
So can we like? Brock Nelson was on the thing.
He's on the Four Nations?
Oh, that was the 2024 men's national Olympic team. I don't know what the other one is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a good American player, but
I don't see any stock in that.
No.
Charlotte plus, but Melo is out. I still like it. Major pass. Unfortunately, the Four Nations tournament is a glorified all-star game where it looks like they had to pick one player from each team. Bedard should not be on the Team Canada. No, he should.
I think it would be helpful. I think it's helpful for him to be on Team Canada because then he can learn under McDavid. He can learn under Crosby. He can learn under all these guys that'll be on his team.
Yeah.
McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon.
Think about that top line with Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon. That's dirty.
Four Nations isn't the Olympics. I couldn't care less about that shit.
We will be handicapping it on the show, though, because that'll be the hockey during that time because it's like a 3-week break.
We'll see. LaMelo Ball.
If we're only talking NBA, I'm throwing Four Nations in there.
Whatever. And Brady is still good enough to be on a team. But yeah, he's top 10. Trade man points. Sixers smash. If LaMelo was playing, there would be like a 2.5. Yeah, probably. Cover or win. I agree. Hornets, Philadelphia. Cade, Beasley, Toppin, Cat, a bunch of props. I'm out. Good luck. Good luck, Coyote. We'll see you next time. Let's go to this one, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Detroit Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks. We have the Bucks 4-point road favorites, total of 221 in this game. Let me get this up. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Opening line 3.5. Got up to a 4. It's back down to a 3.5. So we do have no line movement on the side. Line open up 224. It's down to a 221. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game here between Milwaukee and Detroit. 77% of tickets, 78% of cash is on Milwaukee. The line's really not moved. It did get up to a 4, but there was buyback on the 4. 86% of tickets, 74% of cash is on the over as well. This has been a series that is pure domination by the Milwaukee Bucks. 10 straight wins over the Detroit Pistons. But the Pistons have covered in 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5, 4, and 1. The Pistons are on against the number. The Bucks have turned their season around after a really slow start. They're now 10-9 straight up. They are 7-11 and 1 ATS, 8-11 over under, 2-6 on the road. They've gotten their turnaround going in Milwaukee because they've won 6 straight games and 5 of them were at home. The Pistons are 9-13. They're 10-11 and 1 ATS, 9-13 over under, 4-6 at home. This is the game I have no interest in whatsoever. I don't want to lay it on the road with the Bucks, but I really don't want the Pistons in the spot. So this one was an easy stay off for me.
It's Pistons or nothing for sure. I'm gonna go with nothing here. As much as I love to go after another home dog, I remember like 2 years ago I'd kind of be blindly betting home dogs. And they were covering like crazy. They were covering at like 78 or 79% or something like a year or two ago. That's just not
in the good old times.
That's just not the case. That's just not the case anymore. I do lean towards the Pistons, but not enough for me to want to get involved with it.
That's fair.
LaMelo has been averaging 31 a game. Who's going to score for the Hornets? They'll find somebody. I'm not really worried about that. I think they will. Bucks. Of course, Marcos is on the Bucks. Bucks are a tricky team. Pass. Coyotes. How could you not put the Greek Freak on there? Pass. I see no value on his props. Bucks smash. They could very well. Let's keep rolling, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Indiana Pacers and the Toronto Raptors. The Pacers 2.5-point road favorite, total 238.5 in this game. This line opened up at a 1.5, and now we're starting to see threes out there for the Indiana Pacers. The opening line was 238. It's now 238.5. It did get up to a 239.5 at one point for this matchup. So definitely a little bit of a line movement towards the over. We have 54% tickets, 56% of cash is on the Raptors, but yet the lines move towards the Pacers, which is kind of interesting there. 69% of tickets, nice, and 63% of cash on the over here as well, with the line moving slightly towards the over in this game. The Pacers are 9-12 straight up this year, 7-13 and 1 ATS, 15-6 to the over, 2-9 on the road though. The Raptors are 6-15 this year, 14-7 ATS though. They've been an awesome ATS team. 11-10 over under, 5-4 at home. Another game I have really no interest in. I don't want to lay a number with the Pacers on the road, 2-9 on the road, and you're asking them to lay a number. I get it, it's the Raptors. So, but I guess gun to head, if I'm playing, I'm laying, and maybe I'm taking a shot with the over. So maybe a Pacer team total over. But other than that, not a game I'm getting involved with.
You know how much I love this Toronto Raptors team this year, Nick.
Yep.
I'm not going after them today. If it's still within a bucket, this is not a team I trust. You're essentially asking Toronto to win the game, and I don't know if that's necessarily something I want to be able to trust here. So I don't feel the need to go after it. I understand the line movement, which is kind of another reason why I'm kind of staying off the Raptors here. Maybe look towards the over. I could easily see this one being played up a little bit more up tempo, but not enough for me to want to get to it.
Understandable.
Morning, high noon here. What's up, Behedity? Bucks money line, a little bit juicy. Gotcha. Over Pacers Raps. This is another pass. Pacers suck on the road. Raptors are a tricky team. Yeah. Both teams suck. Maybe pass. Maybe Pacers first half. It's fair. Let's keep on rolling through the games, Nick.
Yeah, we get the New York Knicks, and they're hosting the Orlando Magic. Line opened up at a 6. It's now down to a 5. So we do have a 1-point move towards the Orlando Magic. Line opened up to 18.5, and now we're seeing 214.5. A 4-point line movement towards the under here as well. Take a look at the cash flow in this spot where we have 55% of tickets, 51% of the cash coming in on those New York Knicks. On the flip, and then for the total, 82% of tickets, 68% of the cash on the over. Lines dropping here in the spot. The Orlando Magic 15-7, 14-8, 14-8 ATS, 10-12 over unders. They're 6-7 on the road. They're still a perfect 9-0 at home, so they've yet to lose a home game. But this is it. This is in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks are 12-8, 9-10-1 ATS, 11-9 over under. I was going to say 6-6, but that's on the road at Madison Square Garden. They're 6-2 this year. This was a Magic team that really struggled on the road to start the year. But since then, in their last 6 road games, they've won 5 of them. Their only loss was against the LA Clippers. They're coming in off of back-to-back wins in Brooklyn against the Nets there. They've won 6 games in a row and 9 of their last 10. And on the flip side, we have the New York Knicks coming in off of back-to-back wins. They played the Pelicans and the Hornets. They were 13 and 12-point favorites in both those games. I would only look Magic in this game, and I'm really tempted on the Orlando Magic in this spot, getting 5 points with them here. The Lions move towards them. It looks like a little bit sharp action on them here. They're on a 6-game winning streak, 9 of their last 10. Could be a good step-up spot for them in Madison Square Garden. You know, that's probably a game they probably have circled a little bit there. Why are we not on the Magic here at plus 4.5 now?
I am.
Okay.
I grabbed the Magic here. I want to ride their hot streak. It's been a team that has won 6 straight and has covered in 6 straight. And not to mention they've covered in 12 out of 13 games. And most of the time, well, actually, no. Favorite. Wow, they were favorited in 5 straight games. Granted, Detroit, Charlotte, Chicago, Brooklyn. This is the best team that they've played in a little while. But this is a Knicks team that just, I don't really think they're clicking on all cylinders right now. And they will eventually. Last couple of games, they did win against New Orleans, but who doesn't? They barely beat Charlotte as a 13-point favorite. They won by 1. They lose outright by double digits to Dallas. They destroyed the Nuggets. They lose by 15 to Utah. This is just a Knicks team that's kind of been struggling as of late. I'll take my shot with another dog here. Give me the Magic here. Orlando Magic. Whoa. Plus the 5.
All right.
Or I got 4.5, sorry.
I got 4.5 minus 105. Official play for me.
Magic. Raps or nothing. Pass. Dang. Patrick Line is playing tonight.
Yep.
Line back. Interesting. I got Orlando plus 5 in the lane money line. Magic. I like it. Let's head to this one, Nick.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Utah Jazz. The Thunder 13.5-point favorites in this game total, 222.5. Line opened up at a 227. It did get all the way down to a 222 at one point. We're back up to 223.5. Line opened up at 13.5, got up to a 14, back to a 13.5. So no line movement on the side. 61% of tickets, 62% of cash on the Jazz. That's more of the market I was expecting for that Cavaliers game. It was about 60% of tickets and cash on the dog. And that's not what we got for that first game. 79% of tickets and 56% of the cash on the over, yet this line's dropped 5 points. And I don't like totals I don't want to back a total that's dropped 3-4 points. Like I don't want to chase the steam there for that spot, but I would only want to look towards this under if I'm betting aside or betting a total in this game. Utah is 4-16 this year, but they're 9-11 ATS. 8-12 over under, 2-7 away from Utah. OKC 15-5 straight up, 11-7 ATS, 9-11 over under, 8-2 at home. Another game I have pretty much no interest in here at all.
Yeah, no. I'm not touching the Jazz as this big of dogs. Oklahoma City, they are coming off of a loss, so it could be like a little bit of a motivational one. But that was also on the last game of a 4-game road trip, and now they're back home after 1 day off. I just don't see the need to go after this game. I don't like that many points. It's just not a game I should be getting involved in. So stay away. Another one. Don't feel the need to go after it.
Yep, agreed.
Thunder Smash.
Probably.
Brunson, 25 plus points. Patrick Kane placed on IR. He still plays.
Yep.
Red Wings have been playing better without Kane. Same thing happened last year. Oklahoma City over, lean, pass on side. Oklahoma first half. Let's keep rolling, Nick. We got 5 more NBA games.
Yeah. We have the Dallas Mavericks and the Memphis Grizzlies. We have the Mavericks 4-point favorites, total 242 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. Line opened up at a 5. It's down to a 3.5 now. So we do have a 1.5 point line movement here towards the Memphis Grizzlies, which that 5 really stood for like 3 minutes. So maybe like a half point line movement towards them. Line opened up at a 241, and now it's up to a 244. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. We have 67% of tickets and 67% of cash on the Maverick or on the Grizzlies in this game. 72% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over in this spot. So the moves towards the over and towards the Grizzlies make sense in this game with everything with the cash flow coming into this game. Memphis is 14-7 straight up. NATS, they've been strong this year. They're third in the Western Conference right now. 14-7 over under, 4-4 on the road. They're much better at home though, 10-3 in Memphis. They've also played 13 home games compared to 8 road games. On the flip side, Dallas 13-8 straight up, 12-8-1 ATS, 11-9 over under, 7-3 at home. This is Memphis or nothing for me, and it'd probably be over or nothing. So I guess the ultimate lean is Memphis team total over for me. But ultimately not a game I'm getting involved with there. It would be dog or pass though.
Was Luka in the last game that they played? Oop, that's not what I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on this game. Oh yeah, Luka was back. Okay, just making sure. I didn't pay attention to that game. Dallas has actually been playing well as of late, Nick. Winning 4 straight, 8 out of 9. They've covered in 8 out of 9 games. Their only loss was an overtime loss in Miami, which was on a front leg of a back-to-back. But it's been a Dallas team that's looked solid as of late. And on the opposite side, I did say that I did like Memphis more this year with Ja back, and they have proved me right. 14-7 this year, the Memphis Grizzlies, 14-7 against the spread, 14-7 towards the over. I was going to look towards an over in this game. 242 is a little bit too high. And both teams have been red hot as of late. I understand your Memphis play. I don't really think I can get to either one of these teams because both of them are red hot right now. I'm gonna end up passing on this game. Lean maybe towards the over, but it got a little bit too high for me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And Dylan Davis, I trust. I don't know who that is. Grizzlies cover or win. Now that the Blues have a real head coach, the Winter Classic got more interesting. Memphis plus and the lean over. Is the Blues coach bump over, though? They got smacked last game.
They did not get smashed last game. They lost in overtime, I believe, if I remember right. If that's getting smashed, then but I'm looking at him in this game. I'm looking at him against Winnipeg for sure. I like to fade Winnipeg, though. So
there you go. Oklahoma City. All Jim M does is win. Look at his past record. Hardenstein points and rebounds. Luka is out or in. Play-Doh is out or in. I don't know about Clay, but I know Luka should be in tonight. Montgomery is such a great coach. He was sucking with Boston this year, and the Blues have a below-average roster.
You know, he had like a 700 win percentage with whatever.
Grizzlies +4. Would anyone would suck at coaching Boston? Look what they put on the ice. Red Wings coach should be fired.
Yeah, I can see that. Or here's a more controversial one. Yzerman should be fired. Steve Yzerman should be fired.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the next game, though. The Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs. The Suns 7.5 point favorites, total 230 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here between San Antonio and Phoenix. Line opened up at a 6.5. It's now a 7.5. So a 1 point line movement towards Phoenix in this game. Line opened up 229. It's still a 229. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. 58% of tickets, 57% of cash on the Spurs. If the line's moving towards the Suns. Interesting market there. 74% of tickets, 78% of the cash on the over as well. Let's take a look at the matchup here. The Spurs are 11-9 straight up in ATS this year. They're currently 10th in the Western Conference. 10-10 over under, 3-5 on the road. The Suns are 11-8 straight up, 7-12 ATS though. 11-8 over under, 7-4 at home. The Suns are coming in off of a win against the Golden State Warriors in their last game, 113-105. On the flip side, both these teams are coming off of a win. The Spurs are coming in off of a 125-127 win against the Sacramento Kings, which was a nice bounce back after the Lakers snapped their 4-game winning streak with a 119-101 win there in that game. Previous to that, the market's telling me the Suns kicked the crap out of the Spurs in this game. And that would be my lean in this game, would be laying the wood with the Spurs or with the Suns in this one. I don't know if I'm going to do it though or not, but it would be Phoenix or nothing for me.
I was kind of looking the opposite direction. But I think it's going to be like a doggy day. This is a Spurs team that's won 5 out of 6. They're looking really good as of late. They're covering spreads. Now they get to be a little bit of a dog. I can see the Suns winning here. I just think 7.5 points is too many. This is a Suns team that, yes, they're coming off of a win, but this is still a team that's not looking good. Since November 13th, they're 2-6. Is that a team you want to trust to cover 7.5 points? When although their last 2 wins were by 8 points and 27 points, so they're blowing out their opponents when they win. But I don't know if I can necessarily trust the Suns with the points here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Spurs. I know with the line movements and whatever, but I'm taking the Spurs plus the points. I think it's too many points to lay here. If it was more 6 or something, I probably would stay off. 7.5 is too many. Give me the Spurs to cover in this game.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, I'm leaning the opposite way. I don't want to look Suns, but good luck. Yeah, it was I don't know.
That's fair. Mavs are overvalued. Wings and Pred should have been all over Montgomery. He was an assistant coach with the Blues already, so I can see why he jumped. They jumped him. We got Suns at -2.5 last night. Wow, okay, that's a decent middling spot for me then. San Antonio plus points but lean. Spurs. I like the Spurs. With this number, Wemby over 3s. Interesting. These are 2 interesting teams to me.
Yeah, I believe I cashed a ticket in the last game for this Houston team. They played Oklahoma City, so they're coming in off of a nice win there. And they've won 5 of the last 6 games. The only loss was that really embarrassing one as 11.5-point favorites against the Portland Trailblazers on the 23rd. This line opened up at a -1 for Sacramento. It's now -1.5 for Sacramento. So we have a half-point line movement towards the Kings. Line opened up 225.5. It's now 227.5. So we move towards the over here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 60% of tickets and 73% of cash on the Rockets on the spread, and then set 57 and 55 on the money line. And yet this line's moving towards Sacramento. Tells me Sacramento might be the play here in this one, and this could be a potential letdown spot after the Rockets just beat the Thunder. We have and here's also another thing. Sacramento's 9-12 this year, yet they're 1.5-point favorites. Maybe they're just a team that's overvalued this year. 7-13 ATS, 7-13-1, my bad. 11-10 over under, 4-7 at home. Houston 15-6 straight up in ATS, 10-11 over under, 6-3 on the road. Kings are nothing for me if I'm betting this game, and I'd probably just take the money line at the minus 120, minus 125 price tag there. Tricky spot. I can only look Kings in this one.
I got 112. And I feel like if I had to give out a best bet of the day, Sacramento.
Really?
You look at this line, and you kind of mentioned it yourself. I'm sorry, you get a team that's 15-6. They've won 3 in a row, 5 out of 6. They're looking fantastic this year against a Kings team that is 9-12. Doesn't look that good. They've lost 6 out of 7, and the only game that they won was against Minnesota. And the Kings are favored? That doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, no, sign me up for the Kings here. I love grabbing weird lines like this. That's what I do. So I'm going to keep rolling with it. Give me the Kings in this one.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. Kings money line minus 120. I'll take it. I was really tempted on it to begin with, and I'll add it on now.
There you go. Rockets on the road, most overvalued. I can see that. Lean Houston would pass. Kings money line. Why take the money line when the spread's -1? Because it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Because you can get the spread at -110, or I can get the money line at -112. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I understand that. It ultimately doesn't matter, dude. It really doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Let's roll to this one, Nick.
Yeah, probably the game of the day. Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. The Nuggets 4.5-point favorites, total 239 in this game. Take a look at the line history. This one opened up at 3.5. It's now up to a 5. So we have a 1.5-point line movement here towards these Denver Nuggets. Line opened up 235. It's now 238.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 54% tickets, 51% of cash on the Nuggets, and the Lions moving towards them. 67% of tickets, 64% of cash on the over in this one as well. Talk about a domination. How about 7 straight wins for the Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors head-to-head? 8-2 in their last 10 against them. So they've really had Golden State's number. And they're coming in off of a loss against the LA Clippers the other night, 126-122. The Golden State Warriors are coming in on 4 straight losses, though.
Here's the regression.
To the Spurs, the Nets, the Thunder, and the Suns. They have not covered they have not covered in a game since they were 7.5-point favorites and won by 23 against Atlanta, which they did not get their team total in. Fun fact, because I had it. But yeah, this is a team that's all of a sudden not winning, not covering, and I understand the line movement towards Denver. The only thing is Denver's not a team I particularly trust as a favorite this year, because the last few games as a favorite, they lost outright against the Clippers. Yeah, they won and covered against Utah. They lost outright against the Knicks. They lost outright against the Mavericks. They lost outright against the Pelicans. They pushed against the Mavericks. So this is a team I don't trust as a favorite either. So no interest for me in this game whatsoever. I don't want the Warriors right now, but I don't want to be laying a number with the Nuggets.
I wish I grabbed the 2.5 or 2, whatever it was, 2.5 last night.
Because you probably could have gotten money line at that point.
Exactly. Now it's -5. I can't go after it now, which is unfortunate because I do think the Denver Nuggets win this game. Now at -5, -200, I can't lay that. So I'm gonna end up having to stay off this game. Obviously, I'll be rooting for the Nuggets, but the Warriors are finally showing that regression, Nick. 4 straight losses. Oh, they're the good teams, right? 2 of them to Brooklyn and San Antonio. No, not to good teams. And they're finally starting to move down. I think this is their 5th straight loss. So I want to take Denver. Maybe if you could find Denver and Nikola triple-double and put those together, could be a decent way to get it a little bit cheaper, but I'm not going to be able to go after it.
Sure.
Must win for Kings. Dude, this is the NBA in the middle of December. No game's a must win. Nuggets go down. Okay. Road Warriors. Denver is not the same home team this year. Nuggets smash. Jokic does not look like the same. It does not look the same this year. He looks like he really doesn't care that much at all. Yep, still putting up video game numbers because he is the best player in the league. He could not give a shit, and he's still the best player in the league. Coach Kerr going to play 16 players tonight to stop Joker. Joker over rebounds. Curry over assists. This is a heavy motivational spot for Warriors. What, the last 4 games haven't been? When they're getting pounded? I don't know. Morning, gentlemen. Morning, Untouchable. Final NBA game, Nick.
Yeah, we have the LA Clippers and the Portland Trailblazers. 8.5 points are favorites for the Clippers, total of 218 in this game. Line opened up at 8.5, still at 8.5. Line opened up 217.5, or 217 is up to 220.5. So we have a move towards the over, and we have no move on the side. 62% tickets, 56% of the cash on the Clippers. Line's not moving. 86% tickets, 86% of cash on the over here as well. This is a Clippers team I want really nothing to do as a favorite with. I lean towards them in their last game against Denver, which they did win. They're 13-9 straight up, 14-7 and 1 ATS, 8-14 over under, 8-4 at home. The Trailblazers are 8-13 straight up, 12-8 and 1 ATS, 8-13 over under, 30-8 on the road. Ultimately, it's another spot I'll stay off. I have 4 plays in the NBA, and that's the way I've been doing it, is just not going crazy on action in the NBA, and I've been doing pretty well there. So I'll pass. I'll stick with just my 4 plays. Cavs team total over, Hornets, Magic, and Kings.
I am on the under in this game. And these 2 teams have just been heavy under teams. Yes, I know the Clippers went over against Denver. I had the under in that game too. It happens. But this is still a Clippers team that has been a heavy under team, 8-14 to the under. And the Portland Trailblazers are 8-13 to the under. Both teams are going to play slower paced. I got 221.5. So I got a good number on this one. Sign me up for some under action here in the Portland game to end the night.
Fair. Yeah. Not a game I feel I need to get involved with.
That's fair. That's just my 5th game that I have for today. Blazers will cover or win. I could see it. Blackhawks disappointed me. No money line. Couldn't even cover plus 2.5. That's rough. Cup night in the NBA. Who cares? Portland plus, but lean pass. I hope the Nuggets don't disappoint me tonight. Me too. Blazers untouchable. I too was dumb enough to take the Blackhawks. My gut told me Leafs would win by 3. Didn't listen. It happens.
I'm glad I stayed off that game.
Powell points. I'd probably still be on the lowly Predators tomorrow against the Leafs.
Mm.
How about let's head to a little bit of NHL action?
Yeah. Let's get into it. The Washington Capitals and the San Jose Sharks. The Caps are minus 280 favorites. Total of 6.5 in this game. Let's get into my projections for this one here. As for the total, I have this game projected for 6.23 goals, so it's a slight lean towards the under. Yes, I have the Capitals as the favorite in this game. No, I do not have them as minus 280 favorites in this game, which makes it very, very tempting for me to get into my boat, go jump in the water, go swimming with the Sharks. I'm really tempted to take the Sharks here at plus 235 in this game. For me, I get it. The Capitals have been great this year. They're 17-6-1. They're 8-4 at home, 8-4-1 at home. Sharks are 9-13-5. They're not as bad as we thought they were. Kind of. They're almost now. They're 4 games under NHL 500. Then they're 3-7-4 away from the Shark Tank. 4 overtime losses for them on the road this year. So maybe at the price tag, plus 1.5 for the Sharks. I feel like they've been a strong covering team. 18-9 ATS this year. I don't think they've been a favorite once. They've played a lot of close games. They've lost a lot of close games. And maybe this is a draw spot. for those interested in that. Plus, I'm seeing plus 388 on Pinnacle if you like the draw. Sharks team total over 2.5 plus 110. Don't hate that either. Absolutely Sharks or nothing here for me, and it would be plus 245 over on Fanatics. Puck line is plus 1.5 minus 105 on a few different books. So those would be my leans in this spot here. I think I want to pull the trigger here. I want to go some with the Sharks, Tim.
Yeah, I understand that. And I know at the beginning of the year, Nick, you totally. Oh well, no, actually, sorry, they just got passed last night. I was going to say the Washington Capitals are currently the best team in the Metro, number one team in the Metro. You totally had that in the beginning of the year. Put
no, have them under their point total.
The Devils passed them last night. But I look at this one. This is a spot that I kind of want to go after the Sharks. Yes, the Sharks suck, whatever you want to say. But this is a really, really wide line, and you know I love going after those big dogs. So I'm gonna take the Sharks today, Nick.
Yep, we're gonna swim with the Sharks plus 245 for me.
Swimming with the Sharks, Nick. I'll let you go to the chat now because it's hockey, and I'm gonna go put up some college basketball plays.
There you go. I told myself yesterday I should take the day off and instead decided to waste hours thinking about how to lose money. There you go. What's good, Brio Kelly? The wine and cheese cry is my favorite line when it comes to Leafs fans. Yep. Sharks have been sneaky at home and on the road. Can't fade the Caps. Still can't fade the Caps here. Minus 285, I'll take a shot. Caps team total over. I think that's a better option than having to lay money on our puck line. When posting my plays, can I give the decimal odds, or is American quicker for you to track? American odds are better for me because those are the ones I understand more. I've always found decimal odds easier because they tell you the percentage right away. I prefer American odds personally. That's just me though. Leafs fans were pretty sleepy last night. Those corporate seats are an embarrassment to sports. Yep. You know the drill. Capitals first period over, but Sharks plus 1.5. Fair. Sharks plus 1.5 over 6.5. Saturday night in Toronto is always a lively game when he suits and end up giving their tickets away to people who actually care. Yeah. I'll probably wait for the Capitals to fall behind at some point and get a better line. And that's probably worth a look as well because I probably lean Sharks first period as well. For that, we have the Bruins and the Red Wings. The next matchup here. Bruins minus 185 favorites total of 5.5 in this game. I forgot to put in the numbers for the last games these two teams played somehow. I don't know how I forgot to do that. So I don't have that game fully capped, but let's get into what these two teams have done as of late. I'm not a fan of this Detroit Red Wings team though. That's one thing I will say. And I have really no interest in laying at $2 on the with the Bruins ever this year. This is a Bruins team that is not look good. It's actually not look good. Still, they're 12-11-3. They're a game over NHL 500, but they're 12-14 on the money line. The Red Wings 10-11-3 this year. They're coming in off of the overtime loss against the Vancouver Canucks in their last game. Back-to-back 5-4 losses for the Red Wings. So their goaltending's been a problem a little bit as of late. The Bruins are coming in off of a win against the Montreal Canadiens. Ultimately, no interest in this game for me. I don't have any interest in the Red Wings, but at the same time, I do not want to lay a number with the Bruins here in this spot.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. It would be Red Wings or nothing, just because I'm not touching the Bruins this year. They're just a team that I think is just going to be overvalued. They're not really putting much up on the ice that you really like to bet on. It's lean towards Boston, but not really anything I need to get involved with. I don't really bet a lot of hockey. There has to be a good reason to go after a hockey game.
Fair. This game is tricky. Wings plus 1.5. That's fair. Red Wings plus 164 money line. Larkin anytime goal. Okay. Lean over. And the under 6. All right. Let's keep it going. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Florida Panthers. The Panthers are on minus 165 road favorites in this game. Total 6. As for the total, I think this total is right. 6.16 is my projected goals for this game. And I want nothing to do with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do see value on the Pittsburgh Penguins in this game, though, to a point where I'm not going to be betting. I'm definitely not betting the Florida Panthers in this game. But I have no interest in the Pittsburgh Penguins as well. This feels like an ultimate letdown spot for the Florida Panthers. They're coming in off of 3 straight wins. Toronto, Carolina, Carolina. And they not only beat Carolina, they destroyed Carolina. 6-3 and 6-0. They whooped the shit out of them. And they showed who's the class of the Eastern Conference in that matchup. And on the flip side, Pittsburgh, they're coming in on 3 straight wins. They've been playing better as of late. So I've learned right now I'm not fading the Penguins like I was in the beginning of the year. However, I still have no interest in backing them ever. I will promise you that the Pittsburgh Penguins are a team. I know every good capper that's on and against every single team. I see no reason to bet a single Penguins side this entire year. And yes, there may be good spots for them and things along those lines. I'll stay off those games. But I don't want the Pittsburgh Penguins ever. I think they are one of the worst teams in hockey. They're just on a nice little run. There's value on Pittsburgh at plus 155 now. But you can mark me safe. Remember betting Pittsburgh this year. But I'm not laying it with the Panthers in the spot.
All right, I'll sign up for it. Give me the home dog or the home bird. I'll take the Penguins today. I know you mentioned a bunch of stuff with you're never going to bet. Pittsburgh's getting hot right now.
They have been playing better. I will acknowledge that.
They've won 3 straight. They look good. And I like to back teams that are playing well. Well, Pittsburgh's playing well. They've won 3 straight. And even though it is against Vancouver, Boston, and Calgary, although they did beat Boston, so this could be a little bit of a revenge spot, but I'm not going to buy in on that one. On the revenge angle, this game, I'm gonna jump on the birds here.
Sure. Let's head back to the chats. Let's see. Under 6. Pens plus 1.5. Pens are heating up. Yeah, they're turning up. They're looking better. I don't believe in them long term, but they are looking better. Kane's puck line today. I'm tempted on that. I'm definitely tempted on Kane's puck line, or at least the -1 line for them here. I am tempted. Over with the lean on the Panthers. Panthers smash. I can see Pens winning this one. Me too. I can see Pens winning. Why can't Panthers pull Celtics here for a bit? They absolutely can. They can absolutely just go in and dominate whoever they want. And that is something that I really loved about that Panthers team last year that I had cup futures on and everything is they went in and they dominated. Crosby point and Barkov point parlay. That's an interesting look there. Pens beat 2 mid-tier teams on their win streak. This should be a step up in competition for them. Absolutely. They beat Vancouver. They beat Vancouver, they beat Boston, and they beat Calgary. I don't see a playoff team on any of those. Maybe Vancouver, but Vancouver has been a very hit or miss team this year. Panthers have been losing to bad teams. True. We'll keep it going, though. A game I have action in coming into the card, and I did a free pick video on this one here. Colorado Avalanche taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Avalanche minus 140 favorites in this game, total of 6.5 in this game. Now, if I was going strictly off my spreadsheet and not any of our little system plays or anything like that, I'm not betting this play. But in their last game, the Buffalo Sabres are coming in off of a 3-0 loss against the New York Islanders. They got shut out. What do we do? What do we do with teams after they get shut out? You bet their overs. Over 6.5 at even money for me in this game. In Colorado, they didn't get shut out in their last game, but they only put up 1 goal against Edmonton. So I believe offense will be a huge emphasis in this game from both teams, who combined scored 1 goal in their last games. Now, granted, do I have this game projected to be an over on my spreadsheet? No, I have this game projected for 5.82 goals. I'll be straight up on that one. This is strictly a system play for me. Over 6.5 at even money. If I'm betting aside in this game, I'm only looking towards Buffalo at the plus price tag in this game. However, I'm not going to be backing aside in this one. Just give me over 6.5 and move on. So over 6.5 here, Colorado, Buffalo.
Can I take some player props in this one?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Okay, shut up. We'll go one from each team. From the Buffalo Sabres, Bowen Byram.
Yeah.
And I think I want to grab a point prop for him. And I didn't have my book open, so I didn't have it ready. Prop builder, over under points. Byram, where's Byram? I don't have Byram on my book. That's annoying. But the other one is Casey Middlestad.
There you go. Yep.
You can get a point from him at -130, or you can look at
probably a goal.
I was about to say a goal for him. Casey Middlestad goal 250. Where's Byram? Why don't they have Byram on here? Am I just missing him?
Because he's a defenseman, maybe? I don't know.
But they have all the other players.
Yeah, I don't know.
Benson, Donnelly, Quinn, Zulich, McLeod, Krebs. They don't have. I don't know. If you can find Byram getting a goal or something, go for it. I can't find him on the book. Both of them playing against their former teams for the first time. Casey Middlestad would be my stronger one because he's back home for the first time since being traded. I'm going with the 2 player props in this one.
I can give you Bowen Byram anytime goal plus 950 on Coolbet, 9-1 on Caesars, 9-1 on Botano, plus 750 on Fanatics, 7-1 on ESPN Bet.
There you go. I like it.
Did you say what the number was for Middlestat goal?
250.
Yeah, I could find you plus 340 on Sports Interaction. For people who do have that, BWin has plus 340 as well. Some of the other ones there, but yeah, I got you. Let's see. Gotta be the Sabres. We love them as a home dog. Yeah, I would lean in that direction. Middlestad, yeah. Sabres money line. My usual Sabres day. Sabres / over 5.5. Anytime goal, Tage Thompson. There you go. Is Tage Thompson playing?
Yeah.
Yes. Byram plus 850. BetMGM. There you go. Tage is playing. Sabres plus 126. Everyone is going to parlay the Avs. I think there's better parlay options on the card. I know everybody's going to parlay the Capitals because they're minus 300. I think people might do that with the Panthers. I think people might do that with the Bruins. I definitely think people will do that with the Hurricanes. The Jets, I think, are a team that people will do that with. I think there's better options for parlays than the Avalanche set. Defenseman goal props are unlikely with Dahlin and Makar on the ice. That's fair. But, it's worth a shot. It's the former team angle. At the very least, Bowen Byram point.
Yeah.
If I see him listed as a prop, I add no questions asked. There you go. Let's move on. We have the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Seattle Kraken. The next one here. The Hurricanes minus 245 favorites with a total of 6 in this game. Now, obviously, we all saw what the Florida Panthers did to this Carolina Hurricanes team. And they took them behind a woodshed and outscored them 12-3 in 2 games there. So the Hurricanes definitely humbled in their last games. And, oh, I forgot, this is a system play as well. What are the Hurricanes coming off of? A shutout loss. They lost 6-0 to the Florida Panthers in this last game. Over 6 for me in this game. That's a starter here for me. Over 6, which I can get minus 115 over on Bet365. So I'm going to start with that. And I would like to back the Carolina Hurricanes after getting shut out, after getting blown out both those games. Unfortunately, a little expensive on this one, but I'm going to double up on this game here. Carolina team total over 3.5 at minus 135. And my reasoning behind that is they're coming in off the shutout loss. And this is a team that when they are winning games, I think this is a better way of approaching them than a puck line or anything like that. When Carolina wins games, they're scoring goals. So for me, Carolina team total over 3.5, minus 135, full game over 6, minus 115. I think this is a get right spot for Carolina. Seattle is coming in off of 3 straight losses as well. They've given up at least 4 goals in 3 straight games, and those were to the Sharks, and the Ducks. I think a pissed off Hurricanes team is a little bit better than those teams, don't you think? And if I'm also looking at the Hurricanes here in this spot, I think another way to approach this game, if you don't want to take a team total over at that number, a first period puck line for the Carolina Hurricanes at plus 120. I think that's a great way to approach them as a big favorite in this game. I would look maybe Carolina first period puck line as well, rather than a full game puck line, or maybe a double result first period puck line, full game money line for Carolina. I think this is a Canes smash spot. So Canes team total over 3.5 at minus 135, full game over 6 for me.
The puck line's not enough value for me because it's only even money. So let's take it up a notch and grab the minus 2.5. This is a Canes team that's going to come out pissed off, and I don't blame them. After their last game, let's look at alternative lines. Where's the alternative puck lines? They're minus 2.5 at plus 175. So let's go ahead and grab that. I'm thinking Carolina absolutely smashes tonight. And how about a little bit of an interesting approach to this one, Nick? Carolina Hurricanes team total over 1.5 in the third period.
I would look towards the first period team total over 1.5.
Because I could see some empty netters.
I could see empty netters as well.
Multiple empty netters.
I would lean towards the first period team total over 1.5 at probably a nice big plus price tag.
Fair enough. Hurricanes minus 2.5 tonight.
There you go. Yeah. Kraken system play, favorite dog of the night. They lost twice to the Sharks.
Yeah, the Sharks are one of the best teams in the league.
Teams coming off of a loss against the Sharks have actually been really good this year. So I can see that. Canes team total over. Aho point, Natchez point. Yeah, you could throw Natchez in the conversation of players better than Brady Tkachuk as well. I forgot about him. And Aho. And maybe Svechnikov. I think I would take all 3 of them over Brady Tkachuk. Canes in the over. The Kraken will not be able to weather the incoming storm. Is Natchez a top 10 forward in the NHL this year? Yes. Overall, no. But if you're looking at strictly this season, yes. Yep. Yes. Natchez is currently a top 10. Yeah. I wish I can go to a Canes game with the Earle Bros. Are you in North Carolina, Robert?
No, I think he's in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there's a few games we're looking to go to this year.
Come to the Sabres game.
If there, Islanders and Sabres. Well, I'll definitely be in those games. Be at those games.
If you want to see the Canes win, go to the Sabres game because I can never see my team win. I'm just not allowed to.
There you go. I'm super stoked about being on the Kraken Island. See, the Kraken can win 5-4, and I'll be okay. I will be okay. For that. So, there you go. And then Pyotr Kochekov is starting. Yep. We'll continue on. 5 games remaining. The New York Islanders taking on the Montreal Canadiens. -135 for the Isles. Total 6 in this game. For starters, I'm not laying a number with the Islanders on the road. You can mark me safe from doing that. I had this game priced closer towards the pick'em, but I don't know if I can trust the Montreal Canadiens because I could see this as a game where the Canadiens lose in overtime. There you go. Draw. I will never talk anybody off of an Islanders draw. The Islanders have won back-to-back games against Montreal in overtime, including earlier this year in a shootout. The Islanders are coming off of a 3-0 win against the Buffalo Sabres, which snapped a 3-game losing streak for them. On the flip side, Montreal is on a 2-game losing streak. This is their first game back at home after a 3-game road trip. They played Columbus. They won in overtime. Then they lost against New York, and they lost against the Bruins. They will have a nice little homestand coming up after this. They play Nashville, Washington, and Anaheim coming up all at home. I have this game projected for 5.3 goals. I have this game projected closer towards a pick'em. Canadians are nothing. I just don't see enough of a value to go after it, but I'm for sure not laying a number on the road with the Islanders. Draw or nothing probably is the only way I would approach this game. But unfortunately, I'm late to the party on Islander draws this year, so no interest here.
That's fine. It would be draw or nothing, and I kind of lean towards the Habs. But you look at it, the Canadians are actually the worst team in the East right now. And they're the only team in the East with teen points, 19. There's only one other team in hockey with points in the teens, and that's the Blackhawks.
Oh, I thought they were going to take a step up this year.
And then next up is Nashville with 20 points. So there you go.
Yeah, I was not very high on Nashville heading into the season.
So, but I look at it. This is a pass game. Can we call it a 1-800 gambler? I want to call it a 1-800 gambler. This is a pass spot for me, Nick.
Sure. Let's continue on. Canadians in the draw. This game has tie written all over it. Habs +1.5, especially versus Wa. Yeah. The Isles are broken. They haven't gone to OT in the last 5 games.
Yeah, of course.
Islanders do. Draw or nothing. Under 6. I like the under. Anders Lee having a good year. Yeah, they've been needing, and this is why. See, I don't think the Islanders are a bad team. They're just hurt right now because they're still. I think this will be a team that'll hit a nice little hot streak once they get Duclair back, once they get Barzal back, once they get Pellich back, once they get Riley back, and things along those lines. When they're not all banged up to shit, this will be a team that could probably play better. But you can only do so much with 2/3 of your top lineup. Let's move on. The Blues and the Jets. The Jets are -210 favorites in this game, total 5.5. The Blues are 2-0-1 since their firing of their head coach. And you can get out of here with this -210 price tag on the Winnipeg Jets. As I reiterate, or as I've mentioned a few times over the last little bit, I'm looking to bet against this Winnipeg Jets team. I called for the regression a few games ago, and that's why I put a unit each on the Wild and the Avalanche to win their division, because I don't think long-term this Jets team is going to be a team that can win the division. I don't. And of course, and I know the only team I left out of there was the Dallas Stars. But this is a matchup here. The Winnipeg Jets have lost 3 straight games, 4 of their last 5. They were all on the road. Now they come home. Now this has been a tough stretch for them here. I will say that this is the toughest stretch that Winnipeg has gone through this year, and it's going to be the toughest stretch they're going to go through this year. Here's their last 10 games: at the Rangers, at the Panthers, home against the Panthers. All on the road against Pittsburgh, Nashville, Minnesota, LA, Vegas, and Dallas. Now they head home. They'll play Winnipeg for 1 game, and what do they get to do after that? They get to hit the road again. They go to Buffalo and Chicago before they head home to play Columbus. This is a terrible, terrible scheduling schedule for the Winnipeg Jets right now, where the last 10 games they've had to travel to their next location. And they're going to have to do that for a while now. So I will gladly take +185 with the St. Louis Blues in this game. Sign me up. St. Louis plus 185 here in this spot for me.
Good luck. It's St. Louis or nothing, but this is still a Winnipeg team that's, ironically, or not ironically, but right now there's currently 3 teams tied for the President's Trophy. Winnipeg's one of them, the Devils, and the Wild.
The Wild are a good team this year. I've been saying that since the beginning. The Wild are a bet-on team for me.
Okay. That's fine. I'm not going to touch this game. The Blues have been a little bit shaky. They are 1 game under NHL 500, which I find hilarious that there's an NHL 500 and a regular 500.
Well, basically the overtime games, they treat us ties.
Yeah, I know. I see
what
that.
it is.
I'm not going to go after this game.
That's fair. Small I bet on the Canadians if they're behind after 2 as well as the draw. Yeah, I've joked around about that the last few games is how the Islanders are up a couple goals at the end of the second period. Let me live bet the other team money line in the draw.
I did that for the Washington game.
That game pissed me off so much. Jets coming off an embarrassing road trip. Jets puck line. Good luck. Kyrou anytime goal. Blues plus 186. That last Blues game annoyed me. I hit 2 props, but not the money line in the under. Damn. Anytime goal. Neighbors and Holloway. Streaky guys. There you go. Under 5.5. If the Jets were coming off of wins, I would like the Blues more. I just want to fade the Jets right now. I feel like they're an overpriced team now, and after their awesome start, now it's the time to start betting against them because they're going to be overpriced because of their record. This is not an 18-7 hockey team. It's not. Blues team total over. Love that. Blues puck line. Jets thoroughly dominate the Blues in the regular season, so just the under. No Blues money line for me. Fair. The Jets lost Dylan Sandberg to injury. That changed their season. Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. The Minnesota Wild taking on the Vancouver Canucks. The Wild minus 150 favorites. It's now down to a 135 range because I do believe there were some injuries they announced for this game because I believe they're going to be without Matt Zuccarello, Jonas Brodin as well. So they're without a couple players and the line's dropped. And yeah, I get the line dropping, but I had this game priced Wild minus 150. So at first I thought this line was correct. I'm very interested in the Minnesota Wild. I want to find reasons to bet the Wild. And this is, I think, a good spot here for Minnesota. Why? I think it's a terrible spot for the Vancouver Canucks. They're 4-1 on the road trip so far, but they head home after this. This is the last game of a 6-game road trip, a successful road trip, back-to-back overtime wins in their last 2 games. The Wild are coming in off of an overtime win, but they've won 3 games in a row against Chicago, Buffalo, and Nashville. And they will hit the road after this to play Anaheim and LA. But at minus 150, I didn't want the Wild. At minus 135, I do want the Wild. Sign me up. Minnesota here at minus 135. Yes, I get it. They're a little expensive. But for me, minus 135 Minnesota Wild in this game.
Good luck. I think I'm happy with my NHL card today. I don't feel like I need to go and add much more. Maybe I might add something in the last game we talked about, but I'm gonna stick off this one for a little bit.
Sure. Forgot to put a couple on Cappertek. There we go. Such an interesting matchup. Road Canucks are quite appealing. Yeah, but I mean, not on the last game of a road trip after a successful road trip. Brock Besser anytime goal. Prior to Burnsville, Minnesota. There you go. This game is kind of tricky. Instincts say Wild smash, but Vancouver has been great on the road, and they've always played the Wild well. Yeah, the last time these two teams played, it was at back and forth 10-7 win for the Minnesota Wild last year. You remember that game at all? I believe multiple players had hat tricks.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the crazier games. That was one of the more frustrating games because I remember one of the bets I had on that game. I live bet the Canucks at plus 2.5. And I believe that was the game the Canucks were up like 3-0 or 4-1 in.
I was on the Wild in that game too.
Yeah, and they got 2 empty net goals within the last like 30 seconds, and I lost my +2.5, and that really pissed me off. But that was a hell of a game there. Canucks +124. They play better on the road. It's fair. Stilly and Wild, Elias Pettersson point, DeBrusk point parlay. There you go. It's Besher, a Minnesota guy, I believe so. Under 5.5. DeBrusk has been their best forward. Kind of has been. I'm not running the fade of the Wild though. I think the Wild are one of those teams where I need a really good reason to bet against them. Because I believe they've been an undervalued team all year long. And you guys know how I feel about the Minnesota Wild this year. I'm very high on them. Wild money line. Yep. Let's keep it going. Calgary Flames and Columbus Blue Jackets. We have this matchup here, which is going to be an interesting one. Probably one that I'll probably watch the beginning of it at the very least. Because it'll be the first game for the Flames, or first game that the Blue Jackets head back to Calgary without Johnny Gaudreau. The Flames -130, total of 6.5 in this game. I think this is the ultimate pass game tonight. Like, I don't know how to read this game. I don't want to read into this game. My numbers project the Flames are on -135, -145, -140 favorites, which is exactly where they are now. I have this game projected for 6.28 goals, which I really don't have too much of a read in that one there. I don't have an interest in the side. I don't have an interest in the total in this game. I'll be interested in watching this game, though, at least for just the beginning of the ceremony in the beginning for them. Calgary coming home after a 4-game road trip where they lost all 4 games. Calgary Flames are more of a bet against team than a bet on team for me at the moment. Even though actually their numbers have been not bad. And the Blue Jackets have been pretty good as of late. They've won 5 out of the last 6 games. They've received points in 6 straight games. So this is a team that's playing really well as of late. Ultimately, no interest in this one whatsoever for me. I see no value in this spot. I will have a play on the last game, though.
Yeah, I'll probably have a play in the last game, too. No need for me to really go after this one. Should be an interesting game. I'll root for the Flames tonight. But this is just it'll be a fun game to. I know they'll probably have some type of ceremony or something for him in the beginning. So, but not anything I need to get involved with.
Fair. All right, back to the chat. Monahan anytime goal.
Yeah.
Seems more possible than choosing a side.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. 10-game NHL slate, and the members are going to let Nick touch this 10-game alone. No, victory trades will put in plays in the comment section, and I believe Coyote will as well. Yeah. Flames are trending down. Need to go CBJ. There you go. By the way, if you want to compete in the contest, you can join the membership there. Flames money line. Sean Monahan point. CBJ have been scrappy. They've been good lately. They've been good. Saddle Dome is the worst barn by a mile. I've heard a lot of negative about it. Let's move on. Last game of the night. System play for this one as well. The Edmonton Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights. The Oilers -130 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. We have the Vegas Golden Knights coming in off of a 6-0 shutout loss against the Utah Coyotes, and then previous to that they beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-3. On the flip side, Edmonton is their 3rd game of the road trip. They've won back-to-back games against Colorado and Utah. They will be heading home after this one there, after this game here. And this one's pretty plain and simple. Team coming in off of a shutout loss, you bet the over 6.5 -110 for me in this game. I'm very interested in doubling up on this spot, though. I think the Vegas Golden Knights should be favorites in this game. And they're coming in off of that bad, embarrassing loss. give me the Golden Knights as well in this game here. I don't bet the Golden Knights very often. I haven't this year, even though they've been good. They've been one of my teams that I thought we're going to take a step back this year. We're going to miss the playoffs. I've been wrong about that. I've been wrong about basically every one of my futures so far this year. In the NHL, it feels like, other than the Pittsburgh Penguins being complete ass. I think I've been wrong about everything else. I'm going to be on the Golden Knights here at plus 115 in this game, as well as the over 6.5.
Go Knights, go. I'm kind of on the opposite, Nick. I still think the Knights are competitive to win, to run deep in the playoffs, kind of deal. I still think this is a really good Knights team, and I want to continue to go after them. So I am taking Vegas here. I can get a solid money line. So I'm gonna run with the Knights, Nick.
Sure.
Send the card.
Yeah. It's so easy to bet on the Jackets.
Is it though?
Yeah. VGK money line at home. Yeah, can see that. Golden Knights money line. Over. Oilers are such a draw team this year. I can see that. Eichel over 1.5 points. Is Eichel a top 10 forward in the NHL? I think so. I would say yes. I need to make a list of my top 10 forwards in the NHL. I do. Draisaitl would make my top 10 forwards. It'd be McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, I don't know about Rantanen. Maybe Rantanen. I don't know. Matthews, Kaprizov. Yeah. Knights money line. Yep. Eichel hovers around the top 10. Yeah, I think there's arguments for him. There's arguments against him, things like that. But I think if he is a top 10 forward, he's number 10 or number 9 in the league. He's not like a number 5, number 2 or something like that, but he's not 25. So we'll see. Or puck line, because I'm a wuss. There you go. Who's in net for the Wild? That'd be the Gus Bus. That would be the Gus Bus for Minnesota. But that is everything for today's card, Tim.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Make sure you guys become a member of the YouTube channel. $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. You get access to the spreadsheet. We'll put the card out once Nick puts up his hockey plays. And then we will you have access to the contest, which if you get a $5.99 membership, right now there's 8 players. There's overlay for the contest. So if you guys are interested, hop in, become a member of the YouTube channel. It supports us. And you guys will have access to a bunch of good stuff.
Plus, your odds are pretty good. Only 4 players have joined the contest so far.
Yeah, so you got a decent shot at winning $50. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys.